Now, Labour is to force a Commons vote when Parliament returns next month on changes which it says will make it easier for schools to sell off and build on playing fields. David Cameron's promised to use the Olympics as a springboard to boost competitive sport in schools. But now it's emerged that on the eve of the Games, the Education Secretary, Michael Gove, relaxed rules on how much outdoor space schools had to offer pupils for team games. Our political correspondent, Michael Crick, reports.
At the height of summer, school sports grounds are barely in use, apart from the odd holiday session. But today, the post-Olympic controversy grew, as critics claimed ministers' recent decision to relax rules on the size of school playing fields would harm the nation's sport and our health.
Michael Gove has managed to achieve a hat-trick of own goals on school sport with this announcement on school playing fields. First, we've had the story that he's going to cut, or has already cut, funding for school sports. Then he cut the 2 hours minimum for school sports, and now he's relaxing the rules about building on school playing fields.
Under existing rules, the size of playing fields depends on pupil numbers. A primary school with between 1 and 200 pupils must have at least 5,000 square metres. That rises, so with more than 900 pupils, they need 40,000 square metres. Secondary schools require a bit more space per pupil. But from October, those rules become just guidelines, along with new guidelines that suitable outdoor space must be provided for physical education and for pupils to play outside.
My worry is that suitable can be interpreted in a myriad ways, according to the preference of a particular head and her or his governors. And, for instance, one head will be probably looking at the academic achievements through SATs and will be more interested in that because that's what goes on the league tables. And so, once again, sport goes rather down the list of priorities. And the playing field is a very easy asset to dispose of. Flat, green, sitting duck for developers, and an easy, quick win for some funding.
No, it's about deregulation, says the government, and making it easier to provide urgently needed extra school places. And this West London Academy welcomes what they see as the freedom to make better use of their playing field.
It does take a lot of care to make this a first-class sporting surface, and sometimes we struggle with the resources to actually do that. So I think again that the all-weather facilities, maybe the multi-use courts, could be better value. Just behind us here, could be better sort of value to a school than just a grass field.
And the change in the regulations should make that easier for you.
We hope so, and we're looking to use the regulations creatively, and we've got a sports hall which we get great use out of. We've got the multi-use courts here. We've got the all-weather AstroTurf. So we hope they'll give us more flexibility over the space that we have, rather than an obsession with the pure numbers.
In this post-Olympic climate, ministers are under a lot of pressure to think again about their decision to relax the rules on playing fields. And Labour announced today that when MPs return to Westminster next month, they'll try and force a Commons vote on the issue. Michael Crick, Channel 4 News, West London.
Well, earlier I spoke to Alan Watkinson, who is the PE teacher who first spotted Mo Farah's talent. I put it to him that the government policy was just about reducing bureaucracy.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with bureaucracy being reduced. The difficulty is, in some urban areas, there's schools that are overpopulated. They're struggling for classroom space, and there is a danger that head teachers might be tempted to use some of the space that is there for outdoor play for classrooms.
Well, what's at stake, though, if the government doesn't get this right?
It's lost a great opportunity if it doesn't get it right. I mean, kids are so motivated by the Olympics. They're so inspired by the Olympics, and that was before it even happened. The feel-good factor is so high at the moment that kids are going to come back from the summer holidays and they are going to want to try everything. They want to get involved in everything. They're going to want us to link them to clubs. The level of coaching that's going to be needed in those clubs and the amount of coaches that's going to be needed in those clubs is going to rise, and we can help with that. There's a great programme in schools for leadership that culminates in the National Young Coaches Academy, which is a partnership between the Youth Sport Trust and Sport England, and you know, we could really make this country have something that they can be truly proud of.
What about under David Cameron and Michael Gove? How much do you think they understand what's needed?
I don't know that they do. The messages that are coming out are a little bit muddled and a little bit unclear. I think there's a will there, certainly from Mr Cameron. He seems to speak very highly about the need for school sport, but it is more about just competition. You know, we need high quality PE so that kids are capable of competing. You know, I'm all for competition in primary schools, and I think we should have as much of it as we possibly can, but only when kids are ready for it and when they're prepared for it.
I noticed you single out David Cameron there. Are you less convinced by Michael Gove's commitment to this area?
I think Mr Gove is not such a fan of sport as Mr Cameron. He doesn't seem to be around too much during the Olympics, and you know, if he's not interested in sport, then you know that's fine. But he has a responsibility as the leader of the Department for Education to give the kids as balanced a diet of curriculum as possible. And there's so much evidence out there that school sport contributes to academic ability and academic success. And if he looks back at the things that have happened in the recent years and the opportunity we have now to build on a fantastic Olympics, I really hope he'll start to get it.
Alan Watkinson, the PE teacher who first spotted Mo Farah's talent.